High-risk investment. Trading on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Market opinions. Any opinions, news, research, analyses, prices, or other information contained on this video is provided as general market commentary and does not constitute investment advice. MasterTheMarkets will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation to any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on such information.
Hi traders, welcome to our live trading workshop webinar today. So today in store, what do we have for you? We've got a lot of things going on. Actually, I'm looking at the silver trade as we speak right now, actually, on the daily 4 and 15. I'm looking to get a position. Actually, we have a position actually right now on the 15-minute time frame over here. So I've got it on the other screen here, but as you can see, this is where we are at. Let me just quickly show you that over here on this other screen where I got the stretch indicators on. So you can see over here, this is where we got in at 33.64. Stop loss here, 33.92. I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame here. And then our target is going to be for the 1 ATR level, 33.47, which is what it's going to at the moment. If the boys can just type that out onto the YouTube chat box, I think that would be good. What else do we have in store for you today? We will be looking at, as we always do, some live trades and potential trades setting up. Then after that, then we'll also be taking a look at our topic that the boys have prepared for today, which is going to be on how to pick stocks for long-term investment, a very popular topic. And the good thing is, whatever that we teach you here on a shorter term time frame, we can also do it on a longer term investment perspective as well. Then we'll carry on to take some questions and answer session. Okay, this and more in this session. Traders, welcome to our live trading webinar session for today. It's Still Narpan here, founder of Master the Markets, Elite Traders Conference, and the Traders Open Day. So today, let's take a look on how and why we are taking this silver trade over here. This is based on the trend alignment tables. Okay, so now we did a video on this before on our Master the Markets channel. So I would highly recommend you guys to take a look at that. And that would be under the live, under Master the Markets, youtube.com/Master the Markets. Right, it's our channel name, and take a look at this one here on the trend alignment tables. Okay, take a look at that one, and which I'll be going through with you at the moment as well. And then also some of you have been saying that you're not getting the phone notifications. Then what I would do is, after you hit the subscribe button, click on this drop down arrow box over here, and then after that click on the all bell icon. Okay, so that's what will help you to get the phone notifications when we go live. Okay, right, with that said, let me quickly go back and revert to the silver chart. And over here, as you can see, it's nicely going towards our target. Let me transfer the lines over here as well. So this is where we actually got into the trade. So that's on the 1 hour what we are doing at the moment, right? So over here on the close of that bar, it's nicely going towards our target at the moment, right? So let me just bring it in here so it'll be easier to see. So here, close price 33.64. So let me just put it for the boys to put it on the YouTube chat. So silver, we're going on short. We are entering on 33.64. Stop loss is going to be for 33.92, and our target is going to be for 33.47. Let me just quickly calculate that. Close is 33.64 minus 17 cents, isn't it? Is that right? 33.64 minus 17 cents. Should have just done it without the decimal point. 33.47, correct. So Yeah, I've put that for the boys on the chat box. They can then put that through on the YouTube channel. Right, so this is what we got on silver. As you can see, it's very fast going towards its target, and now it's gone through to that, okay? Now, you saw that in real time on the right-hand side of the chart, and this will keep recurring again and again, all right, because of the strong principles that we are looking at. Now, what is the, I'm already getting a lot of questions on what's the rationale behind this? Why did we take this trade, and why is the stop loss there and all of that? The first step is what we got to do is we got to take a look at in terms of the trend alignment tables, okay? Now over here, you can see on the DAX, right? So I take a look at all these different time frames here, okay? Now on these different time frames, I put the trend alignment. So on daily time frame, as you can see, that's an uptrend phase one, okay? Right, so if I were to go back onto TradingView, then now I'll put the volume there as well. So you can see on the volume, I know this happened quite fast, but another one I'm taking a look at in real time to set up also is the DAX trade, right? Which I'll go through in a minute. So this is looking good so far before I get a short signal, okay? We'll look at this after I've explained this on silver, what just happened, right? So over here, so going back to here again, so DAX on the daily time frame over here, that's on uptrend phase one, okay? So let me take a look at that. Now over here, as you can see, let me just move that. You can see that there's a trend box over here, right? And on the trend box over here, it's telling you it's uptrend phase one. Now, how do we have that? Because we have the quantification of the tops and the bottoms over here, okay? When you draw a line diagram, you can see it's making a higher low and all that. Rather than it being subjective, we have quantified it across all time frames. So because if you hide it, then it becomes subjective, isn't it, right? Because some people may argue that that is actually a top. Some people might say no. I think that might be. Some people say no, this is more obvious as a top. Now imagine even just looking historically, you're having that doubts. Imagine what will happen in real time, right? So all that is to remove all that doubt and everything. So this is why we have quantified this entire thing, okay? With the help of the formulas that began in the 1970s. So that's the SMI framework there. And it tells you it's an uptrend phase one. But I know some of you might be thinking, okay, that's all good, but why are you taking a short? So just hang in there. Just let's look through across the different time frames. That's why we look at all the different time frames, okay? And then on the 4 hour here, as you can see over here, right? On the 4 hour here, you can see that this is actually in a downtrend phase one. So if you draw a line diagram, that's the power of the quantification. That's the bottom and tops. And then this one took out that low, came back up, and then now it came back further down over here. So it took out that low here, downtrend, then it went to phase two, then it came back further down. Okay, this is on the 1 hour time frame. So, and that's your downtrend phase one over here. So on the trend alignment tables, right? So I record all of this down. Okay, uptrend phase one, this is an uptrend phase two, this is a downtrend phase one, and then on the 15-minute, okay, this is actually on the DAX. Let me actually do it on silver for you guys. Did I just do it on, yeah, silver, right? So I'll do it on silver. Silver is the same thing, what's going on as well. So you can see, so this is uptrend phase one. Actually, it's the exact same thing what's happening on the DAX also. You can see this is a downtrend phase one. Let me go back to here. So that was a downtrend. On the 4 hour, there was an uptrend phase two. So exact same replica, what we can see over here. And then on 1 hour, there's a downtrend phase one. And then on 15-minute, let me just quickly just take a look at that. On the 15-minute, that is a downtrend. Let me see. That was a downtrend phase one. Okay, as of now, right? So let me take a look at that. So downtrend phase 1. And the 1 hour stretch, let me see, the stretch has been taken out to the downside over here, right? You can see that. Now let me go back to here. That's on the low side. This would be 1 ATR, and the ATR range. When we took that trade, did it actually do its 1 ATR range? Not yet. I think 56. I think it just didn't when it did when I looked at that, right? So over here, I'll just put as no. Interesting, isn't it? It's an exact replica of the DAX as well. So let's go through this at the moment. So I've gathered all of this data just on simple quantification of a framework that we have done here at Master the Markets of quantifying what a top and a bottom is, okay? So here on the daily, I'm aligning everything. So it's an uptrend phase 1, okay, for the silver. And then on the 4 hour, right? So let me just write that so you guys can see it all together. But you see on the daily, but in the terms of each price bar is a bit coming down. So now that seller bar over there on the daily is what is showing itself as a uptrend phase 2. Okay, so it has confirmed its top over there. So let me redraw that. So here it's done that, right? So that's your uptrend phase 2 on the 4 hour. Okay. Now on the 1 hour, now that part here, which is coming down as phase 2, or the 2 seller bars on the daily time frame, right, is showing as a downtrend phase 1 like that, right? Okay, that's what we are seeing. So if I were to show it to you here, see which one is better. Yeah, so there you go. So you see on the daily, that's the 2 seller bars there, which I've written here. But on an overall basis, because that top hasn't been confirmed, that's an uptrend phase 1. On the 4 hour, however, that top has been confirmed, which is these 2 seller bars here, right? That's an uptrend phase 2, according to this framework. So we are aligning it all together. Then on the 15-minute, as you can see over here, so that one here, right, you can see that it's taken out all these things, what you're seeing over here. You see this downward movement here, if you take a look on the 15-minute, that is showing as like this, right? So like that, the quantification. Now you can see the importance of that quantification of what a bottom and a top is, right? So now we call the trends across the traders did that back in the 1960s and 70s, okay? So if I come back to here again, so you can see that, right? Across the 1 hour, and then the 15-minute also is showing a downtrend phase 1. So when I now take a look at the direction bias for any strategy, right? So I can see that on here, on the daily, okay, showing towards the upside phase 1. But on the 4 hour, okay, I'm seeing uptrend phase 2, but the direction is towards the downside, right? Because it's a top to bottom move, isn't it? Which I've drawn here. So that's towards the downside. 1 hour is pretty clear, downtrend phase 1, downside. 15-minute also towards the downside. Now, to further confirm my direction bias, I also look at the stretch. Now, the stretch, as you can see over here, is taken out the lower stretch level. You see this one here, right? The lower stretch level over here is taken out there. So again, it's pointing towards the downside, okay? Now, so I've got all of that here as well, right? Onto the lower side. Then the 50% OE, right? What is the distance that it gets to 50% of the time? Now we have quantified all of that on a systematic manner. So you can see over here on the tables over here. So if I were to remove that, now let me put the settings here and show the stats chart. And let me do this on ATR numbers. And I will do it on 0.25, 0.25. And let me do that now. And then the ATR numbers will come up also. So you see, I can see that one ATR occurs 57% of the time. But I know that by selecting the phase 1s of the movements, I can get this to bump up by 10% at least, so that will happen 67.47% of the time at least. Okay, we're just preparing the phase one tables that will happen very shortly, and you guys can have it. Those who have already subscribed to the SMI framework, Smart Money Indicator. Now, so you see, now everything aligns over here, you see, on the 50% OE. And the ATR range, when I checked it, it hadn't formed it yet. And then, of course, the entry bias across all this alignment here, except for the daily. But then the stretch also is aligning. So it's towards the short side. Now, on top of that, we also look at the volume. So I have taken a look at all of that even before we got in. So I can see a big spike over here, right, on the 1 hour time frame, right? Came as the bar confirmed here on the SMI, right? And then after that, and then there's a VSA dot, also red, everything is aligning, right? That's the bingo. That's when we take a trade like that. And then we take this towards the 1 ATR number, okay? Because I'm backed by stats over here. So that's how we do it. So in terms of the strategy, we get a direction bias, and then we do some timing as well. So direction bias, I align all the tables and the stretch and everything. So it was towards the downside. And then the timing, okay, when do I get in? When I basically get a confirmation bar aligned with the VSA, the volume dot confirmation, plus a volume spike as well, which then is confirmed by the next bar, which also closes much more lower as well. Okay, so that's how we align everything. Now the trade guider, this is from the trade guider system, what we are seeing the VSA over here by Gavin Holmes and his team, started by Tom Williams actually. This has been old for at least 30 years, so really strong and robust that you can use this along with our systems as well, right? The SMI and VSA principles, Smart Money Indicator, and the volume spread analysis indicators. You can use them alongside. Now, so that's what's happening on the silver over here. There's still more move left because there's a little bit of momentum over here, isn't it? In fact, I tell you, 33.47. In fact, according to our other broker platform, we haven't really hit the target because of a little bit of spreads over here. So we'll hold on to this and we'll see how that carries on. Okay, those of you who got out, that's fine. You didn't mind about the spreads, but we will stick on with that and we'll see how that carries on to be. Okay, now another thing what I can see over here is on the DAX as well. Now on the DAX, I'm seeing a similar thing. Okay, after I've covered this, then we can go on to the topic for today. Now, on this, yes, before I cover that, some questions on what is the stretch? What are you talking about in the stretch? I really don't understand that. What you can do is, traders, there's two things. Also, some of you are saying that you don't understand about the smart money framework, right? The tops and bottoms quantification. What do you mean by the quantification? Some of you are not sure. So what I would suggest is two things. First thing is, to understand the tops and bottoms, the trend alignment and all that, how did it all start and everything, what I would strongly suggest is go to 7stepstoctp.com. Okay, this is over 20 years of collated research along with the quant traders experience since the 1970s. So you can see almost over 50, 60 years, right? That has stood through the test of time. Go to 7stepstoctp.com, and what you can do is that then you can put in your name, email, and number if you want to get live trading updates as well. Then once you hit the green button over here, then you get the 7 videos sent to your inbox. Definitely watch this. Each is about 10-15 minutes. It will highly improve your trading. And also this can be applied to any kind of strategy that you got at the moment. It's very cross-transferable because it just gives you a framework, right? That's all it does. And it's very systematic, very logical as well. Then you can use that framework, which I say the skeleton. You can use that skeleton across anything. You can use it along with order flow. You can use it along with volume. You can use it along with Fibonacci, whatever it is. But it will give you a solid, systematic way of looking at the markets. Okay, so that's that one there. Also, another thing in terms of the stretch principle, if you guys want to understand what the stretch is all about and everything, definitely go on to youtube.com/masterthemarkets And then after that, what you can then do is you can go to this thing here, the stretch principle, okay? And then you can watch that at your own free time. Lots of high quality material here on our channel. So I think the simple thing what you can do, youtube.com/MasterTheMarkets is what you can go to. Now, good. So I mentioned all of that. You guys can go and check it at your own free time. Now let's take a look at the DAX. Now what's happening on the DAX? DAX is similar thing is happening as well. So what's happening here? So let's take a look again. So what I've done is I've put all the alignment again. I do repeat the same thing. Uptrend phase 1, right, on the daily here. So that's what I've done. Uptrend phase 2 on the 4-hour. So let me take a look at that. So that's our uptrend phase 2 as well. You can see that on the trend box. And then I will take a look at the 15-minute is downtrend phase 2, which you can see over here. Let me just update that over here at the moment because it is confirmed already, isn't it? Perfect. That's what we exactly wanted. So let me do that. So there you go. So that is confirmed there. Did it confirm in here? No, I think it took out the low, but that's fine. It's a bit of data discrepancy there. This is on active trades here. So you can see that's a downtrend phase 2. So I'll update it here according to this. Downtrend phase 2. Then on the 1 hour, let me take a look on the 1 hour time frame here. On the 1 hour time frame, you can see that it's a downtrend phase 1. Okay, right? That's the power of the quantification when you got all your tops and bottoms quantified. You see, I'm having that, so I can clearly see the downtrend phase 1. So downtrend phase 1 here. So that's what I've written here, downtrend phase 1. So, and in terms of the stretch, you can see that if I go back to here, this is where I got my stretch indicator. So you can see it's taken out the lower side of the stretch. Okay, so that's what is done over here. And then in terms of the ATR, we'll take it again to the 1 ATR number. Has it done the 0.8 ATR range? Let me just check that over here. On the daily, let me check that. So yesterday's ATR is 476, okay? Today's ATR, 0.8 times 476 of yesterday is what I'm expecting the range to become. It's 380. So what I'm expecting is from high to low, at least to make a 380. So far, how much range has it done? I can read from here, which is done by one of our clients. Really proud to say that. Got inspired and he did this for us. Really, really helpful. It's 288. So as you can see, there is still another 100 points to go. So this is how we trade it. Because it's a recurring principle, you see, that the range will form. And this is how we are taking it towards them. Okay. Now, in this particular strategy, which is a bit more shorter term, we just take it towards the 1 ATR number. Okay. At the moment, I don't have a signal yet, right? I need to wait. You see, on this data here, you can see on the 15 minutes. So first of all, I align everything, right? So I put it onto this table. So I tell you now about timing. So on the DAX over here, so this one we already completed that, doesn't it? Just keep it as yellow because it just needs to go through a little bit to get through the spread. But you can see that here on the DAX, right? So everything is aligning, right, towards the short side, except for the daily. But you can see there's direction alignment across 4 hour, and then 1 hour is clear, trend and direction is aligning, and 15-minute at the moment, sorry, I'm taking a look at, yeah, the DAX. And the 15-minute at the moment is showing a downtrend phase 2, okay, where I'm waiting for the direction to come back in alignment. And in terms for the stretch, I've shown you that it's taken out to the low side. The ATR range hasn't formed yet, and I'm taking towards a target of 1 ATR. Of course, the entry bias is short because at least 3 time frames have aligned. This is for my strategy number 2, rules towards a small target on a 15-minute time frame. On the strategy number 1, I can take it towards the range forming for the day. Okay, that's what you can do. But for now, the purposes of this is a bit more shorter, it's a bit more easier to understand. I'll take a look at strategy number 2 over here. Okay, so this is on the silver, on the DAX, sorry, on the DAX, which I'm looking at. So going back to here, what would be the concrete numbers and everything what I'll be taking a look for? So I go to the 15-minute, once my direction is aligned, right? Then now what I then do is I look for my timing. When should I get into the trade? Okay. So in terms of that, when will I get into the trade? Only when my direction aligns. Okay. So I won't get in now. I will wait for an orange dot to happen. So I wait for this top to get confirmed. Okay. With an orange dot, and then once that confirms, then I will take this towards the downside with a 1 ATR number, which is over here, okay? And the 1 ATR number I will take it from the bar that confirms. So when the orange dot happens, I'll take a look at that. So as of now, it's about 42. So let me just update that. I just want to look at 10. And I'll just use an SMA, that's fine. And over here, at the moment, that's about 48. So yeah, I'll take it to the 48 points. So wherever it confirms, I will take 48 points from that. Towards the short side, so I'll minus it, okay? So that's what I will do. But, very important thing, I can't do anything until this confirms its top, okay? This is how we eradicate all the noise and everything that happens in between and preserve our profits. Very important, okay? Right. So that's how we would do it on the DAX. So I think that's the two examples here. The silver, I think we had that in real time over here. It's pulling up a little bit, but that's fine. Those of you who got out, that's good. We will hold on to this and see how that performs, okay? On the silver, as of now, actually went down a bit. Yes, I can see on my other account over here that it's actually hit the target, because as you can see, it did go down. Let me just quickly just tell you the exact numbers on this on low, 33.44, isn't it, traders? Yeah, so it went down a bit more further as we were explaining that. I can see that across that, you see? So that also fulfilled our spread. There was a 0.3 cent spread. So over here was 33.47, right? Over here it went to 33.44. So 3.3 cents below, and it definitely hit our target. I can see that on our statements over here as well. Okay, well done to those of you who took the trade. As we can see in real time, that did that. So if the boys can just update that on the YouTube channel, that silver hit the target. Okay, at 33.47, when the low went down to 33.44. Okay, good. So that's that one there in real time, as you can see. For those of you, I mean, let's see if on the other one, I'm not doing this at the moment, but you guys can take a look at this. So 0.56 cents, isn't it? It's hit the range as well. So on the strategy number one, there isn't. But those of you who want to do this by yourself, you can also see early on in the day, we did have another trade here. Again, you would take that for a 1 ATR once the direction all aligns, and the lower stretch had been taken out also. And then you can see this is for 6 cents over here. Did it hit that immediately? A little bit. Maybe you might have hovered around because of the spread, but eventually after it did that, then it goes, right? Okay, so that's that one there. That's good that you saw this all in real time also. Makes it more understandable and more, convinced and confident about how to take this trade. And you can take away, write all the rules down, look into this. This is a very solid principle that will keep recurring, okay? Good, so that's that one there. And then on the DAX, we will wait. On over here, it hasn't confirmed the bottom, but on here, it has confirmed, but I need to wait for it to confirm the top, okay? To confirm the top. So over here, you see, just rather than blindly just entering it, then you would have been stopped out over here. But you see, that's why we wait for the top confirmation. This is why it's so important to quantify your tops and bottoms. And all this is explained on 7 steps to CTP, which is what I explained here. Yeah. And then you can see the videos at your own free time. Okay, good. Enough said on this. I'll see how this performs as well. Now, saying all of that, now let's go on to the other thing for today, the topic for today. Actually, I saw gold also setting up. Let me just quickly have a glance on that. In terms of gold, what's on gold happening? Let's see. There we go. Gold is doing this as well on the daily, on the 1 hour, but that's an uptrend phase 1, isn't it? It's not really aligning. Let me see on the 15-minute what it's doing. Yeah, it's hovering around. So could be that you got to do the same thing again here. I don't really have time to do that on gold, but I believe on a quick look, there could be some potential over there. Let me see on the stretch what it has done. It is a bit in the middle, isn't it, traders? Because it's taken out the upper stretch and the lower stretch. So things like this, when it's not very clear, I would just say leave it, look at another instrument which is more obvious, and that was silver for today, and you saw that in real time. And I'll take a look at DAX also. DAX is a bit more easier and a bit more straightforward as it's taking a look at. Okay, I'll see if the bottom confirms on this data also, and then wait for a top to confirm. Right, as we are waiting for all of that, we'll go on to the topic, okay, for today, which is on when do we know how to enter the stocks, how to pick stocks for long-term investment, okay? It's a popular one. And the good part is, the way I'll explain it is, whatever that we have taught you now, on the tops and bottoms quantification, we can cross-transfer this on bigger time frames, okay? So let me just take a look at a few, so as to give you an idea. You can do this on any stocks, US stocks, UK stocks, India stocks, doesn't matter, okay? So let me take a look at Alphabet, which is on Google. You can see now it's a big, massive downturn selling that is happening. Now, before all of that, what is a good one to take a look at, traders, is we can take a look at the indexes even before that, yeah? So I've got a few indexes here and see the overall environment, what's happening. 3 indexes you got to look at, okay? The Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, and the S&P, okay? This will give you a whole environment of the US economy if you want to take a look at. And also the same thing you can do for the other stocks. If you're looking at India stocks, China stocks, you know, all of that. Look at the index first to give you an environment look out for. So that's the first thing I'll do. So let me just go on to here. And let me get that out. So let me do that. It should be on my platform, I think. Could be on this one here. Let me just see this. Right. This is more on the crypto side of things, isn't it? Let me close that. Let me look at this one here. This one here. Also, I'll open up the individual ones and then we can take a look together. Good. So this has got most of the indexes. So let's take a look at it one by one before I take a look at the individual stocks. So that's the first thing I do. I look at the environment, okay? You can see that across most of the indexes, there's been a massive sell-off. But you just got to be aware that even though the media talks about this all day long, about this massive sell-off happening, but remember, this is in an uptrend phase 2 at the moment, okay? As you can see. Now, let me just put that back on again. Then we can get the trend box here appearing as well. And then you guys can see that in real time, okay? So that's that one there. So let me just wait for it to populate. There you go. You got your trend box there, right? So that's your uptrend, phase 2. So very important, right? So we this is still an uptrend, hasn't taken out this low, but this is a retracement, a pullback in this move at the moment, okay? I also want to see how long has the trend been carrying on for, okay? We've done some research on that before the trend changes. I can see that this is why I'm telling you the quantification of the tops and bottoms is very important. So this on the weekly time frame, I can see that that's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So 4 tops so far. You can still potential of going up. I've seen that most of the time it will revert after doing 5 tops. That's on a quantification basis over here. So let me take a look on the monthly from the research we've done. So over here on the monthly, you can see that it did a compression here, held its low over here, right? And then now it's shot up to the upside, okay? So because of the compression, this was in 23 when we got the compression. And this is again the power of the alignment of the different time frames. So by looking at the different time frames, I would say on the monthly, there's still move left over here, okay, on the Dow Jones. So this is just a small pullback. Now, those of you who want to have a bit more confidence on this, who got the SMI, I would say wait for the top to confirm to get a bit more better bargains, okay? But if we don't get that, and then on the weekly it does confirm, we can start to put our first position in, okay, on the weekly time frame. Now, before I get any clues where to or signal to enter even on the stocks and when they all align, because remember, the stocks make up the index, right? So if I get the index turning around, I'll see the bigger stocks, right? The biggest market capital stocks already also showing signs to turn around because that's what will turn the index around. When I took on the daily, so as you can see, that took out the last low over here and turned it into a downtrend. So before I can start to take a look at the index and the stocks turning around, I need to wait for a higher low to begin, okay? This is what I would look for the first thing, to give me some kind of a confidence that the weekly will turn around, okay? That's what I'll be looking at. So that's on the Dow Jones. I will quickly take a look at now the NASDAQ for the tech stocks, right? And you can see that's a very clear downtrend, massive selling that is happening over here. We can see on the tech stocks over here. Now, however, on the monthly, when you take a look over here, right? On the monthly, you can see that that is a uptrend phase 1, okay? We can wait a little bit to see if that top confirms, okay? If that top doesn't confirm and it carries on further up, what we can then do to catch that upward move for the continuation, our first position towards the upside can happen either when the weekly confirms its bottom and does a compression move, or we will wait for a first on the daily signal over here to show a compression move. Okay, this is very important. Wait for a higher low. This is the time when it's telling you that smart money is supporting this low, and then it could turn this upwards and then the higher time frames to the upside as well. And you got to do your risk management accordingly. Right, so that's on the NASDAQ. So still waiting for some kind of buying strength to come before we get in. And then the S&P, what's happening here as well. Bigger selling downside on the daily. And then on the monthly, however, again, you see the monthly, the top hasn't confirmed. Not the selling hasn't confirmed totally. Still in an uptrend, but then the weekly is doing it. So same thing across all the 3 time frames before I start to take a look at something to buy. So that's the overall environment. So that's what I establish. And then now I go on to the individual stocks. Okay. So now when I take a look at the Google, of course, it's showing the same thing again. And then I'll go back to the monthly over here. Same thing. You see, I'm taking a look at Google as well. I'm waiting for a bit for the monthly top to confirm. Okay, at the moment, but still trend is intact, very good. Took out from the last downtrend over here. I'll wait for this to confirm, the top to confirm. And then, but even if it does not confirm, but the weekly starts to show signs of it starting to carry on in its continuation, its uptrend, I'll wait for this bottom to confirm first. Okay, that's what I'll do at that moment. Then it will show an uptrend phase 1. Another thing, what I can also do on the daily, if I want to enter a bit more earlier before the bottom confirmation happens, and then I can take a look at this compression pattern to happen before I start to get into this big downward trend at the moment. I need to give it some sign that it's turning around, okay, rather than catching a falling knife which is falling down, okay. So that's what we need to take a look at. That's why the top and bottom quantification is very important, which we have done from the help of the quant traders, okay, traders. Right, so that's what I will take a look at over here before I start to take a look at the upside. Now, remember, as I said, every strategy, investment strategy or whatsoever, based on two things, direction and timing. As an investor, most of the time you'll be looking at to buy. So in terms of a little bit of timing towards the buying, so I'll wait for a little bit of compression before I start to take a look at. Now, this doesn't mean it's the holy grail and then it's going to carry on upward after that. Even if it did go down after that, but then you hold on to that, right? Because you're outrightly buying that shares with actually technically a stop loss being zero, right? You're buying the whole shares at $176. After that, if it does do this, fair enough, then you can then start to take a look at your second position if it does carry on further down, and then wait again for its another compression move again. And then you align all the time frames together. Because remember, you can never get timing absolutely right, but you can get it a little bit to the best of your knowledge, and that's when you combine your risk management as well. You don't put your full position on the first one, you do it, split it over 3 positions, okay? We've written all that down, it's all in the portal. For those of you already on it, you can take a look. Another one which is very hot on the topic is NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, I'm again, okay, looking for the top to confirm on the monthly, still hasn't confirmed, but on the weekly, you can see that it's in the uptrend phase 2 at the moment. Wait for the bottom to confirm. Let me check, take a look on the daily. Has it confirmed a higher low? You see, this is what I'm looking for, right? Nice downtrend here, which is what's showing on the weekly as an uptrend phase 2, and then the monthly is still in the uptrend phase 1. What I'm looking for is really this level to hold. If this confirms its top, but this low is not taken out, and that low number is what I'm taking a look at. That low is 11288 is what I'm taking a look at, right? As long as that low is not taken out, it shows its first sign of a higher low with a blue dot confirming after a orange dot. That's my first clue, right? That is holding. It could go up more higher. When I take a look at the 4-hour, again, it still hasn't done any trend change yet. No higher low yet again as well. So I'll wait for all of this to show itself that some strength is coming back into the market. I'll finish off with one more. You guys getting the idea, right? Of the principles here. Tesla is another one, right? So Tesla here, very strong downtrend. Those of you on the trading side, I know you're taking all of this as well. Nice moves over here. That's well done on the trading side, on the shorter term, on the swing objective. Now on the weekly, you can see that it's still an uptrend phase 2, big sell-off. And then on the monthly, you can see that the monthly is confirmed as well. Brilliant, right? So for those of you who are taking a look, right, at entering this on the upside, what I would wait for, first on the daily, as I said, wait for a bottom confirmation first. None of these bottoms have confirmed, okay? Wait for a bottom confirmation, then for a higher low, and then the top, and then a higher low. That's our first sign to come in. So Tesla will be on the watch out for, and some of our traders who are also investors for the longer term will be waiting on those. Yeah, which didn't answer from the beginning. Whoa, go there. On the silver trade that we took, the main question that you guys are asking is why was our stop loss quite far off? Okay, actually I got it all marked out here, wasn't it? Let me take a look on here. The 15 minutes still DAX hasn't confirmed. I'll wait for that. On the silver, you can see that you guys were asking why was our stop loss quite far away. So we go back to the 1 hour. There we go. If I go back to the 1 hour, you can see the main question is why is our entry? Yes, you guys are saying you can understand on the close of the bar. Why is the stop loss all the way here and then the target here? But so even if you look at it visually, you can see that it's not actually as a one-to-one basis, isn't it? Right? You can see this is not even a reward to risk of one-to-one. This is why I mentioned in the previous videos, right? Go and take a look at our YouTube videos as well. I talk about this in 7 steps to CTP2. That the reason why we put the stop loss that far away is first is we're giving it room to breathe. Okay, room to breathe. Because of the dance that you can do, you can go up and then come back down, just like what it's done over here. Okay, that's the first thing. Based on volatility measurements, we've done that. Now, the other thing that you may say that, oh, but the reward to risk is very low, but remember that this is not actual reward to risk ratio. This is only expected, what you're seeing here. Okay, it's more or less about 5 to 1. Expected, it's not the thing you should be looking at. You should be looking at your actual reward to risk ratio. So in this example of this trade, even though you started with expected reward to risk ratio of 0.5 to 1, but look, it hit the target, right? The risk is now gone. So actually, in your account statements, what you should be looking for is your average win, your actual average win to actual average loss. This is what you should be looking at. That will give you the real win to loss ratio. Okay, that's what you should be looking at because that's what in realized profit and loss terms. So you might start with 0.5 to 1, but eventually your actual profit to loss ratio might actually be 1 to 1. And then your reliability might be 90% of them are winning. In fact, in all the live trades that we've seen, this is a high reliable strategy that we have actually taken most trades which have gone to hit the target, right? Because we are aligning everything, including volume. That's what gives the most highest quality trades, which confluences all the factors together. Okay, that's what we got. Right. Okay. Good. So that's that one. Hopefully answers that question. Please go and reflect on that and use it in your own strategies. All right. So I'll finish off with DAX. I know some of you are saying, what should I do with this DAX trade? How should I precisely enter it? I will take a look on the trading view also. And then we can close up after this. I've got a session starting soon also. When I take a look at all of this, you can see over here, right? So this is the best part. Even though everything is aligned, we're still not in this trade yet. I'm waiting for the top to confirm. You see how this saves you from losing on trades, on impulse entries and all of that, right? So I'll wait for the top to confirm or orange dot to happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm not getting into the trade, okay? This is how we preserve our profits on a consistent manner on a true edge that we've identified in the markets, okay? So over here, I'll wait for that on the 15-minute for the top to confirm. But over here also, if you look, the data is not really correlating. I'll wait for the 15-minute bottom to confirm with a dot. And then after that, then I'll wait for the top arrow to come in as well. The bias is towards the downside, okay? So in essence, if I go back to here on the trading view chart, in essence, I'm looking for an orange dot to happen. Okay, so that's the first thing we look for according to this framework. Those of you who got the SMI, you can take a look at that as the day passes by. I wait for the orange dot to happen first. After that, then because everything is aligning, I take a look at the volume that's on the red. Then also the volume here is supported here as well. That finally then the orange dot happens. Then what I then do is then I enter on the close of the orange dot bar, stop loss for the swing high, and then I do the same thing again, target for the 1 ATR number, okay? The 1 ATR at the moment, 41.55, but you got to take a look at it on the orange dot that happens, and then you take it 41 points below that. That would be your strategy number 2. Now, if you want to take it to strategy number 1, range targets, then you do it over to the 380 points, okay? Right, that's pretty much what I've covered for today. Just to recap what we have done so far, traders, what we have done so far is, as we always do, we have taken a look at some live trades and potential trades, right? We take a look at that. We took a look at silver, which hit the target in real time. And also now we are waiting on the DAX trade as well. We explained it based on the stretch principle, as also based on the trend alignment tables as well, which you can take a look at on our YouTube channel, okay? youtube.com/MasterTheMarkets. And when you subscribe, remember to hit the all bell icon also. And the stretch principle videos are there, okay? So we took a look at all of that. Then the second thing is that we then took a look at how you look at the investment, stocks for investment. You saw how these principles are cross-transferable to bigger time frames also for investment purposes. Because we ourselves, we run 2 portfolios, right? One on the trading, one on the investment side. So now on the investment portfolio side, how do you do that? First, look at the environment. That's why I told you look at the 3 indexes for the US stocks and a similar thing for other kind of stocks. Then you go into individual stocks as well. Then you take a look at the different patterns to position yourself, and then also how you need to do your risk management there as well. So we looked at all of that. And then point number 3, then we looked at the Q&A, some questions I had some time for as well. Right, traders, I guess that's pretty much that from me as of for today. 2 last reminders: YouTube channel, subscribe, all bell icon, and the 7ctp.com to get those videos and then to stay in our newsletters and updates as well. Traders, we're also going to be trading live on the 4th of April. You will get an email as well on that in London in-person event as well in the Grand Connaught Rooms, organized by the IX Trader Events by Simon Campbell. Take a look out for that on the emails as well. If you guys can come in person, come for that too. Traders, that's pretty much all the time I got for today. I know we overshot a little bit over time, but as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master.